Hey everybody, welcome to the Patty G Show. I'm your host, Patty G. We are here with the family of the Anthony's Italian Deli. We're going to learn their story, eat some food, share some laughs, some beverages, and just have a grand old time. But before we get to the show, I want to give a big, wonderful shout out and thank you to the folks that bring you the show each and every week. Building 5, Mimosa Handcrafted Jewelry, Flyer Real Estate, Currency Bank, the bank for business owners, Lake Men's Health Center, Horizon Financial Group, Gage, Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge, and you know our outfit of the day is always brought to you by McLavy Ltd. Without further ado, welcome to the show, y'all. We've got a full house today. We've got a packed chairs. Excited to have y'all on.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Absolutely. So we've got introduce yourselves. We'll start with Marco and work our way around.
I'm Marco Saia.
I'm Maria Saia.
And I am Margaret Cedatol. We are mother, son, and daughter.
So it's a family-run business.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Anthony's Italian Deli.
So what is the origin story of Anthony's Italian Deli? How did y'all become 45 years ago, I believe?
Mm-hmm.
45 years. We came to the United States almost 50 years ago. We felt kind of homesick. We see this place for sale. Was kind of Anthony's. No, it was Anthony. No. Okay. Was Italian Deli, so we just took over.
So my mother and my father struggled for a little while, adjusting to life here in the United States. They came with nothing. And actually, they came with a tent, thinking that they were going to, encounter Indians and all kinds of stuff.
Yes, that's very serious.
They did.
Yes.
But just like a tent to live in, I mean, they had nothing. They were living with some family that had come here before, and worked them over. And so my dad had promised my mom it would only be like a little honeymoon, and they would stay here for 4 months just to kind of try it out. Well, they started these little odd and end jobs here and there, and neither one of them spoke any English. And it was really difficult to communicate with her family abroad because, no social media, nothing. She was handwriting long letters to her family for 5 years before she went back. So she got super homesick, and they stumbled upon this little sandwich shop. And they were the other owners were interested in selling it, so my dad jumped on it and said, "I think this would be a great idea for us to bring our culture." Which back then, I mean, the Italian culture was not a big deal, as was any other culture. So they just wanted something to make them feel at home. And they started the Anthony's back on Florida Boulevard in the little hole in the wall. I don't know if you had ever been there before.
Back on Florida. So where at on Florida?
It was in, what was it, Bon Ami Shopping Center?
Yeah. Bon Ami Square Shopping Center. Now, this we're talking about a long time ago.
45 years, Michael.
It was about maybe 600 square foot, the entire place. Kitchen.
Holy smokes.
Kitchen. It had 7 tables in it. And
2 tops?
Yeah, 7 2 tops. Huh? Well, I mean, 2 of them were pushed together, so it was. It was.
You could fit 16.
Look, when we were busy, like people would walk in the door, and the place would be busy. But I mean, it's only like 6 or 7 people in there.
Yeah,
we would be busy. People would just be get packed in there. But I mean, it was very cute for what it was, and it was hidden. I couldn't tell you how many times I had to tell people where we were located. I mean, it was in the back of a shopping center. It was off of the service road on Florida Boulevard, in between Sharp and Sherwood. Oh, wow. 36 years. Sherwood.
Okay, so further down Florida from where we are right now.
So right now, at the front of the shopping center, there is a pawn shop and there's a rim shop.
Okay.
And at one point, it used to be Lanyard Frame Shop. It used to be NA Guns. And people from Baton Rouge remember that area. I don't know if anybody ever has explained to you what New Generation was.
No, what's New Generation?
It was, yes.
It was a record store.
It was a record store. Yeah,
Okay.
And then you could buy TVs there. It was a Best Buy at that time.
Marco, what was your best time when you was over there?
Oh, look, you know what? I would get bored in the daytime because I would be hanging out with my mom over there. Like after school, I would be there. Even in the summertime, she would have me at the deli all the time. But I I would get bored and I would walk over to New Generation and they'd have all these TVs set up and it would play Top Gun on a repeat. And I would sit there and watch Top Gun all day for like the entire summer.
So you obviously have the whole film memorized.
Oh, no, I do.
So how did you...
Well, not anymore. I did.
So comparatively, New Generation Top Gun versus the original Top Gun.
Oh, no, original.
The original, of course.
Gosh, no question.
That's what I figured.
Yeah, no, Goose, you can't beat Goose.
So the deli back then was just a one-man show. So my dad and my mom, they tried to work together for a little while. And, of course, she booted him out. She was like, okay, this is going to become mine. We're just going to put your name on this, but you need to go find something else to do because they couldn't work together. So she ran the deli. But, I mean, we didn't have the business that we have now. And so she was able to just run it by herself.
Just two people in there.
Well, yeah. 2 people. But for the most part, yeah, it was you. And then she would have us. My brother and I would work there after school, weekends, and during...
So many times we would sit there and do our homework, our school homework, like right there in the middle of the restaurant.
So y'all would take up one of the 7 tables?
Well,
again, we didn't have very much business.
Well, no. It was like it is today because we've kept the same time, 9:30 to 6. It's mostly like a lunch crowd. So we would be there in the afternoon, and my mom would sit there until 6 because she would catch all the people leaving work at 5 and all the phone calls. And in between 5 and 6 is mostly like pickup orders.
Yeah.
So we would wait there with her while she was working. We would sit there and do our homework. Yeah.
So the Patty G Show is now proudly presented by Baton Rouge Regional Airport. Y'all, I fly exclusively Baton Rouge whenever I best can. And what they've got now since June of 23 is a nonstop flight from capital to capital, Baton Rouge Airport to Washington, D.C. You're able to make the round trip in one day. They've got the earliest flight, or even earlier than flying into New Orleans. You can fly to Baton Rouge to go from Baton Rouge to D.C., round trip one day. If you've got meetings in D.C. or you've got business gatherings, you definitely want to fly to Baton Rouge and go from capital to capital. They are a proud presenter. We are now brought to you by Baton Rouge Regional Airport. Thank you so very much for bringing them on as the latest sponsor of the Patty G Show. So did you come here with any cooking experience, or was it just like you're going to cook home food that you missed?
None at all. I never cook in Italy.
But my dad
You never
did.
cooked at all?
I never cook in Italy. I mean, you're young, very young.
My
dad
dad
did.
grew up in
dad
a
was a
bakery.
Yes.
Okay.
My dad was a baker in Sicily.
So some culinary experience.
He baked bread in Italy. He was working with a bakery.
Yeah, he did lasagnas. I mean, my dad cooked all the time. He loved to cook.
Yes,
He would go to the deli and he would cook and he would give the food away. He just, that's what he wanted to do. It was his passion. He didn't want to sell it. He just wanted to just give it away. And people to this day come in and tell us, they're really thankful for the bread, that he would come in on Saturday mornings, bake a whole bunch of bread, and then just start handing it.
To this day, he would do it. Well, until the day he died, yeah. He would bake bread and bring it to church and hand it out to people.
Man.
Yeah, people still come in the deli and they remember that.
So they still come to the deli asking for bread on Saturdays?
They do. They do.
So do y'all still do some form of that?
No one has been able to master his recipe.
No.
And
And
I still am kicking myself. Look, at least he forced me to learn how to make lasagnas. I did not want to even do that. I've never been interested in cooking, baking, nothing. And so he forced me. And so I took up that passion for him. But the baking of the bread, no, not at all.
And it wasn't even only a recipe. It was the way that he would make it. And it just come out. I mean, you can't mimic love. He would put so much love into his bread and like the lasagna. I mean, we got it on point now because we were sitting there with him. But I mean, we should have sat there with him with the bread too.
In those family recipes, we have some for like Japanese wedding cookies. We call them cocoons, but that's kind of what they resemble. It's like cookies with a little powdered sugar on top. And it's my great grandmother started the recipe, passed it down to my grandmother. And still to this day, my mom has the original recipe, but there's 2 steps and ingredients off the recipe that have to be spoken to pass down that recipe. and it's like this family heirloom that's been traveling. And so you've got the in-law girls come in. They're like, well, how do we make this? And we're like, no, you just don't ask. don't ask that question. You just you watch what it is, because it's like a heaping tablespoon is not a true heaping tablespoon. It's actually a serving spoon that's heaping.
Yeah.
And so recipes like that get lost to a point, but at least y'all are able to salvage for the most part most of them, and you can still taste his cooking every day.
Well, Anthony just throw things in. Throw things in. There's no measurement. None of them.
It's just like the pizza dough. We used to have pizza night with my dad all the time. He made the pizza dough from scratch, just like he made the sauce. Luckily, my brother makes the sauce now because he showed him how to do that, and the olive mix. But the pizza dough, we don't offer pizzas at the deli, but we have not been able to perfect it. We look up all these recipes, and we even, her sisters are living in Italy, and we'll call them and try to figure it out, but we have not been able to duplicate my dad's pizza recipe. Yeah. And he used to have an Italian pizza restaurant off of Corsi Boulevard in the 80s.
So there was 2 restaurants at one point.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, so when my mom was like, hey, you need to go find something else to do, he went and opened up a restaurant on Corsi Boulevard, and it was a pizzeria. Okay. It was called Anthony's Little Italian Restaurant. It was in the Oak Park Shopping Center.
In the 80s. Yeah. He had it for 9 years.
Yeah.
Okay. So how did you end up with the restaurant when you had no cooking experience beforehand?
I was just making sandwiches.
You pick a sandwich is easy, and then you put your love in. You put your love, your tender loving care, and all that. Then they're good. They come out good.
Before that's funny. Before I think that before my mother and my father decided into the deli, my dad used to work for Paul Pedotti. He used to have a restaurant in town. He also worked at another restaurant called what was it, Little Italy's?
Europe, Marco.
Europe's. And he learned a lot. He learned a lot by
non Paul, Franco.
Frank. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Franco.
But he would learn a lot from them doing like portions because of them owning restaurants, and of course knowing Italians, they got to speak to each other, and that's how they got into being good friends. And I think that a lot of what we cook now is a little bit of what he's learned from them as well.
Okay. So this episode is proudly presented by Gage. Gage is a local company here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. For over 40 years, Gage has provided businesses with the very best telecommunications, IT, and standby power services available. Gage has a variety of services, including Gage Cloud Voice. It is the last phone system your business will ever need. You need to give your business the ability to be accessible anytime, anywhere, and with Gage's cloud-based phone system, you'll be able to accomplish just that. Not only do they have Gage Cloud Voice, they have fully managed IT services that are proactive network monitoring, 24/7, 365, help desk, business continuity. They are there for you. What you're also going to need is some cybersecurity. Gage is there to safeguard your business from potential cyber threats, even when you aren't aware they exist. Gage also is power and leaders in standby generators. They are the #1 Cummins dealer on the Gulf Coast and provide generators to homes and businesses of any size so you can keep life going. Gage, better connected, a proud sponsor of the Patty G Show.
Okay.
And so when was the move from Florida to where y'all are right now on Government Street?
2015.
Okay.
2015. Yeah, 2015. So that's how long ago? 8 years ago, huh?
We're about to be there for 9 years.
Into 9 in November. We move in November, huh?
January.
January.
Closed up shop there and then just brought everything to the new location. It was her passion one day to open up her own
bigger one,
standing building where she owned it. So
over there was like a shopping center, and it was just like a little hole. They call them a hole in the wall. So a little shopping center, everybody port. I never had a spot to port. So I want me a place where everybody can port there.
She would fuss. She would go out and fuss. You need to move your car. Are you here for me? If you're not here for me, you need to go.
That's my place.
Come on.
I love it.
The parking Nazi.
Oh yeah.
That's
I
not,
mean, you had to be, right?
it had to be my place that was taken up for the other people. So you come in here, no, then go park over there.
She would send us out too. Don't let her fool you. Don't let her fool you. Marco, go outside and tell them to move the car.
See, how old were you at this point? I gotta know.
Oh, he started young.
Oh,
He
yeah.
started
What are you
young.
talking about? For 36 years, I had to do
Yes.
that. How old am I now? This is 36 years of doing
That's
that.
what I'm saying. Like at the time you're going and directing traffic in this parking lot.
Yes.
Are you like 5 years old? Or are
Oh,
you
yeah.
25 years
Oh, both.
old?
No, not
Both.
25. It was
Both.
young.
As soon as I was able to walk, I was directing traffic.
You still are.
I know. You know, my mother was pregnant with me when she opened a place up in Florida. Whenever they decided to buy in, so whenever she had me, she didn't know what to do with me, so she had me in a playpen in the back with my sister, and of course,
Yeah.
all of the people would come inside, and they would be like, "Oh, those cute kids, cute kids." Skip to today, we have still those same people, and they're like, "We remember when you were in a playpen in the back," and I'm like, "Great, that's awesome."
They're like, we changed your diaper once.
Yeah, well, now like there's look, I love all my older elderly people, and they're kind of like falling off every once in a while. I love them to death, God bless, but I'm sitting there and they would come in there and they would tell me, "Yeah, I used to hold you on my lap and eat sandwiches because you would be walking around the store." Like aimlessly,
I love that.
That's okay. Nothing wrong with that.
No.
What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with
you
that.
see, like back then it was fine. Now you wouldn't see anything like that
No,
ever.
but then, when he got a little older and started fooling with my muffaletta bread, then I said, "You got to go to the nursery."
I would, yeah. I wanted to be like the customers. I would grab muffaletta breads and walk out there with just the bread and start eating just the bread. Yeah. Wow.
But I mean, you did it and you had to make it work at the time. Like that was the only option. You
Yes.
couldn't just
Yes.
stay at home. You had to run the restaurant.
No,
you
no.
know?
I didn't want to stay home. No
Yeah.
family, nobody. So I have to go to not to work. I had to go with people.
And the restaurant industry, you
know.
create that family,
Yes,
right? With the
yes.
patrons and the customers that come in, they become your family.
Yes, yes. When you want to see people, you want to talk to people and ask your kinds of questions. It's family. They're all family, yes.
She's grown up with a lot of these people in Baton Rouge. It's just you've grown up with all of these.
Yes, everybody knows everything, so they know him in a playpen.
Unfortunately.
Why you say unfortunately, man? It sounds like a very
No,
fun
it's not.
childhood.
It's
You
not
got to
bad.
direct
It's not
traffic, eat muffaletta bread whenever you
But
But
want.
you think about it
Watch
now, how
Top Gun.
safe was that? Like I think that one of our newspaper articles on the wall in the deli was that Maria would be in the back stirring the sauce while Marco was in the playpen. So if you think about it, it's like,
But did you get burned?
I don't even I was. I'm in
See,
the
so it's
playpen.
fine.
We got
Yeah.
burned in many ways.
Oh yeah, look, you know what? I'm still getting burned by the today. So I still get burned every day.
But the other told me I didn't make the sauce.
I know, Poppy did.
Poppy did. I didn't make the sauce.
When we say Poppy, it's Anthony. We call my dad a Poppy
Poppy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
instead of Daddy or Dad.
So fast forwarding to the point where y'all were old enough to start working in the restaurant, what transition was that like from directing traffic and in a playpen to at what age were y'all taking orders? At what age did y'all start getting more involved and becoming a family unit?
She was 8 years old when she started taking orders. 8 years old.
Well, I mean, we were working as kids at the restaurant. I remember serving alcohol
At 8 years old.
Yes. And customers being
It's different
like,
times. It's different times.
I know.
It's different
And they're
times.
like, yeah, you're old enough to do that. And I had no idea what they were talking about. So it's just, and then look, Marco and I, we worked in the deli with her, but then we also, in high school, we went and worked for other people because my mom just paid us with love. And so we needed
like it wasn't enough, you know?
Well, I mean, love doesn't put gas in your tank, you know?
We just went out and experienced other restaurants. Marco worked at the Chimes. He worked at Gino's. We worked at the Baton Rouge Country Club. We had a lot of experience. Then I said I did not want to be in the restaurant industry, so I became a teacher. And And I did that until I had 3 kids. Luckily, we had 3 girls who also help in the restaurant now because they're 18 and 20. But we need them because it's so hard to find good help.
Yes.
Yeah. We're lucky that they're working for us.
Yeah.
So now you're on the third generation.
Yeah.
Third generation
of staff in the restaurant.
Yes.
Yep.
And thankfully, we have them.
Look, and I tell everybody that as the third generation right there. 3.
That's your retirement package right there. They got to carry the name on.
Never. Who's retired? That's what we talked about.
Granted, they're in school. They go to LSU, so
2 of the 3 go to LSU. The ones who are capable of working. But we're
going to hold on to them and get them to work at the deli as long as we can. You know, do our little because this past summer we were. All right, before I get back into this, back in the day, my mother used to take me and my sister back to Italy every other summer. And because her mother, her father, 2 sisters, brother, they all still lived in Italy. So it would be us 3. And it was this thing that we did every other year. And, we were Italian. This is what we did. So anyway, about 20-something, 25 years ago, we stopped doing that because somebody had to stay back.
Yeah, you got to keep the
deli.
Yeah.
Okay, so, I would take one for the team every year. Not a big deal.
not that he had to support his family or anything.
Well,
he
yeah,
did it for us.
That too. But anyway, so now this past summer we were able to go us 3 again, and it's been 25 years since we did it last.
The 3 of us.
The 3 of y'all were able to go.
We
back.
were able to leave, my nieces behind, and it was a fantastic experience, and I was happy that they were able to do it.
So how much preparation went into that trip? How much,
oh my God,
writing out the procedure,
a week's worth?
No, more than that. But this was a really quick thing. My mother, she's been, for the last couple of years, she's been going every single year. Ever since COVID, she was like, I'm not going to miss out on going to spend time with my family anymore. So you sat out from Italy for 3 years for COVID? They told us, we'd have those plane tickets, and they told us we couldn't go. So she finally got to go, and she's been going every year since. So my brother and I, this past year, we took her to the airport, and finally I was like, you get this feeling, this nostalgia, because it's something that you've been doing all your life. And so when I took her to the airport, I was like, I feel like I just need to go this year too. And so I get back and I tell my brother, and he looks at me, he's like, you are not leaving me. And so I was like, I wonder if we can make it happen for him too. And so we just all had a little conversation about it. And my brother and I we did this 2 weeks before. And the girls had
But the first daughter stepped up and said, I'll keep the deli. Her first daughter.
Okay.
I'll keep the deli.
I can do it. I can do it.
And
She said 20 years old. And she did it. She did a great job. Great job.
That's incredible.
Yes.
So you've got family in place that's just, they know the system. She's probably been around for 20 years.
Yeah, of course.
In the restaurant.
Right.
Did you put her in a playpen?
Actually,
I think she was strapped to my back at one point. Yeah.
Yeah, we had her in the little.
We got pictures of that too. Yeah.
Backpack.
The little backpack for kids.
I'm very familiar with the backpack.
You know what? I think I had all 3 of her kids working with them
or
on
whatever that thing is called.
Yeah, that too.
Nursing in the deli. Oh my God,
It
the
happened
work.
this year because of her girls. The 2 of them. The 2 older ones. The 20 years old and the 18 years old.
Yes, they definitely stepped up to the plate.
Imagine taxiing on a plane looking toward the end of the runway. It seems so far away, it's even hard to see it. And that's what the concept of retirement probably felt like when you were in your 20s, 30s, and 40s, way far in the distance, not visible or even a concern. But as you turn 50, something happens. Retirement suddenly seems like something real, something not too far away. In your 50s, you are rolling down the runway. Retirement is getting closer and closer, faster and faster, weeks and months zipping by. But are you even ready for a successful takeoff to retirement? Fear not, there's still runway left. But the time is now. Time to make progress and time to get a plan. The Runway Decade will help you get organized, get energized, and give you the direction you need to take off to your desired retirement. The Runway Decade, building a pre-retirement flight plan in your 50s.
Now, let me tell you, it was not easy, okay? So we planned this for 2 weeks, and then once we took off, my brother and I were super excited about going. I mean, it was just like, but for those 2 weeks, lots of planning went into it, but also just a lot of excitement. And once we got there, it just seemed like hit the fan, where everything just went wrong. They're like, the cooler broke down. There's a fire in the bathroom. The electricity. I mean, and every day, and there's a 7-hour time difference. So this is all delayed for us or them.
They would call us every day with something new. So you know what? I was like, oh yeah, this is a work trip.
It's a write-off.
It's a work trip.
It's a write-off.
It is. It has to be. I mean, every day I've had to answer the phone and answer something,
Put
relating
out fires,
to
literally.
the day. Oh yeah, we were putting fires out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it was nuts. But I mean, it was
fun.
It was
I would do it again
for sure.
If that gives me the opportunity to go back to Italy, you know what? I'll answer every single one of those phone calls. I don't mind.
At the time, you were like, this isn't even worth it.
This is not fun for me. We're at the beach and I'm having to deal with refrigerator guys. People are like, oh yeah. And I'm like, oh, I don't know what time it is there. Can you come over to the deli and fix the fridge?
I'm not there, nor will I be there when you get there, but just go fix it.
Exactly.
But they did a great job after all.
They did, absolutely.
It was
really proud of them.
It happened.
We had fun.
That's all that mattered. It happened.
Yeah.
For the three of us, so it was good.
Well, now you're at the point where if they can put out fires, literally, you can take the trip more often now.
Well, I hope
Well,
so.
that's what I'm hoping so, because I mean, whenever they go, I stay behind.
You've been staying behind, right?
Yeah, I'm used to it.
You got
I'm
years
used
and
to it
years to
now.
catch up on.
Yeah, I'm used to it. My middle name is Take One for the Team.
Oh, that's good stuff. So whenever y'all made the move to government, it was your building, you're able to buy it, have your own place and everything. Did you make any other changes? I mean, now you're in, 2 or 3 times the size space that you were in?
Yes. I mean, we added the lasagna. We got everyday lasagna. We got everyday a bunch of other things that we didn't have at the other place.
We added a bunch of stuff to the menu. We added a bunch of salads. We did. We're starting to carry caprese salads now. We didn't do that at the old place. We cook lasagna.
We got a lot of.
We make take and bake lasagnas. We make eggplants.
Yes.
I mean, a lot of that stuff.
lot of
we did.
salads.
I mean, when you have an open area, besides like a little, I'm talking about that place was small. But anyway, there's not a lot of room to come up with the other things.
Yeah.
To we didn't have the refrigerator space to keep a bunch of lettuce for the salads that we wanted to make. So I mean, you make do. We got a walk-in cooler now. We built the place. Whenever we decided, we okayed the plans. We walked through the place with the architect. I mean, we told him to move walls and to move things to where we would mimic the old deli. So when people would come by, they would be like, this feels like the same place. And it's exactly the same place because we have a picture on the wall of the old place where the walls are just full of just little trinkets, little signs. I mean, of course, some really good articles from back in the 80s. I mean, it's a lot of stuff on those walls. And people like the little, the little frou-frou, And,
The number one thing everybody always asked us when we were in that location, the old one, was, when are you guys going to get bigger? Yeah. When are you going to move to a bigger spot? And she was never satisfied with anything. We would talk about going out to Prairieville, to Bluebonnet, and she was just like, no. And so it took this amount of time for her to be completely satisfied with where we were going to move the new location. Yeah. And she just fell in love. And of course, she lives a couple of streets over from where the deli's at, but she loves Mid-City and she loved Government Street. And and once they found that spot, I don't even know if it was for sale or not.
No, it wasn't.
But I don't know how you guys even did that.
No. You went and find the people. It used to be like a nursery. You went to find the people. Nothing was there no more. It was a nursery for a little while. Then all of a sudden it's closed. Then Anthony went to find the owner and asked them, is this place for sale? And they said yes. So
before it went on the market.
Yes.
My dad was always cutting little deals like that.
Yeah. So that is what really happened, and it isn't, because the woman really told him it's not for sale. And he said, "Are you sure?" And then she goes, "Well, what do you mean?" And that's whenever he starts to. My dad had his way with people. Like he knew how to talk to them and how to schmooze them.
Right. He'd show up with a platter of his bread and some lasagna.
Well, that's
be like,
it.
Are you sure this is not for sale?
But I mean, exactly. You know what she said? I'll sell it to you.
How many plates of food did it take for her to put the property on sale?
Well, I mean, the thing is that the property was overgrown. And it was just like, they had a little house. It was a little eyesore. But I mean, I think that's what he used for his leverage. What are you going to do with this place? What are you going to do with this land? It's all overgrown. It's all, you don't want this. Guess what? Next thing you know, we bought it.
Yeah. That's exactly
So he had his little Sicilian ways, He gave her an offer she couldn't refuse.
Thank you so very much to Building 5 for becoming the latest sponsor of the Patty G Show. We are going to be filming once a month at Building 5. We're going to post about it on our social so you can come and visit with us. Building 5 is an excellent food establishment if you're into sharing boards and really getting a creative menu. Misty and Brumby have done an excellent job of creating an environment that's warm, welcoming, and inviting for every single occasion. Go on over to Building 5 in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and tell them that the Patty G Show sent you. So how much work was needed? I mean, you say it's overgrown. How much work did y'all put into that property to get it to what it is today?
How many years did it take? Like what, about a year and a half, 2 years?
So at the old deli, we were still working. We owned the land over here on Government Street, and we were trying to decide on when to start building, when to break ground. So, in the middle of like us deciding, one night we got broken into. And the guys that came in, they took basically everything that we had in there. We didn't have alarm.
Only food, right?
This is the food.
At the new place?
No, at the old place.
At the old place y'all got broken into. Okay.
So at this time, we're owning the property, but we're still working, trying to figure it out. And this is the straw that broke the camel's back. The guy took all of our stuff. Like all the food, all the stuff, all the meats, all the cheeses. All the lasagna.
The showcase was all gone. It was all empty. Took everything in the showcase.
I mean, we're talking
took all the food, but no appliances, just the food.
No, just the food. Yeah, but I mean, we're talking about.
He was hungry, y'all.
He was trying to feed an army, and I'm not talking about a small army. I'm talking about a very big army because he had this like truck, and he just loaded everything in the truck and brought it to sort of a little apartment that was less than a mile away from where the deli was.
Wait. So y'all got him on camera?
Oh, no, we got him on camera. But, me and my father at that time, we did some detective working, and we found him ourselves. And then we were the ones that called the cops and told them where all of our stuff was. And they ended up, it was just long, drawn story.
This
but
on the news and everything, okay?
Wait,
when was this?
This was, what year was this? It had to have been like 2010.
Okay.
It had to be around that 2010, 2015. This is because that's what we were like. Okay, this is it. We got to get out of here.
So you found him less than a mile away.
Less than a mile away. They where
posting
we were,
like a party or something.
Well, when he was
making mortadella omelets for breakfast.
They were having the pieces of mortadella on the counter, and they were taking like some plastic knife that they got from one of those like culinary kits, and trying to saw the mortadella and saw the provolone cheese, this big block, trying to saw it off of there and making eggs with provolone and mortadella. It smelled good when me and my dad went in there because the cops had called us and said, "Hey, you need to get your stuff because we don't know what to do."
You don't do with all this. It's not like it's appliances or anything. It's just food.
No,
all of it was in the refrigerator. Like they had we threw a bunch of stuff away.
Yeah, you don't know
a lot of stuff we threw away.
That, yeah.
But a lot of the stuff like that was still like vacuum packed. We kept it. It was
It's still the seal's not broken. Why not?
One of our cop friends was like, "We can't put this in evidence. We're going to throw it all away." And I know that some of the stuff is still good.
Yeah.
So the bad stuff we
but
threw
not very
away.
much. Okay.
No. It wasn't. No, everything else that wasn't touched, we kept. But like all of like the lasagnas taken back, we're talking about throwing a whole junk load of food away. But anyway, so that's what basically told us. You know what? We need to get out of here.
But so. You look at it, and they robbed the place of all the food. But I mean, just a testament as to the quality and what y'all were making. I mean,
They were super disappointed. We didn't have anything else, so they just decided we got to take something.
Yeah, they were taking our Cokes. We had these cases of Cokes that we would sell Cokes by the can.
right.
And so they took all of our Cokes. They were taking packages of paper towels. I'm talking about everything. They took everything. They were taking stuff off the shelves. Like all of our,
Like
grocery
bag
items.
chips and everything.
Grocery items. They were
So, like, did y'all have cash in the was any cash
that's
missing?
That's
why they took
all
the
the
food.
food.
They had to make it worth their while.
They're like, how much is this cheese worth? About $200. I could probably get about $200 for it. No.
Or I could make a lot of omelets with it.
Well, he was cooking them.
So did y'all? So I'm always curious. Whenever somebody is a victim of a robbery in that situation, or a victim of a crime, and the person gets caught, did y'all ever talk to them?
So,
Did you get a chance to interact with the individual?
I did.
And there's not much that can be disclosed.
My father did.
Can we
in
tell the story?
Spanish.
Well, you see, they were so the guy that took all of our stuff, he was living in a 1-bedroom apartment in I think it's called Broadmoor Plantation Apartments.
Okay.
It's on Florida Boulevard. 30 years ago, beautiful apartments. Everybody wanted to stay there.
Right.
Now, not so much.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it was about 5 Hispanics living in this 1-bedroom apartment, and one of the guys is one of the guys. So
Gotcha.
my dad, this is before him and my mother got together. My dad was born in Sicily, but he was raised in Argentina. So he spoke 3 different languages,
Okay.
and Spanish being one of them. So when the police officer called us and said, "Hey, come get your food," when we went over there, all 5 of them were in handcuffs on the sidewalk, and of course, the only girl out there, my dad had to sit there and like have a little chit chat with in Spanish, and I know it didn't go too well because you know what, the little chit chat turned into a yelling match, and my dad was getting really heated. And that's when the cops started telling me that I need to get my dad out of there. I mean, I could understand a couple words, and that's why I don't want to say them. But yeah, they were not. They were choice words. I'm telling you. But so that's.
I get it. You just been robbed from all your food, thousands of dollars of food worth of inventory is now gone. You can. I understand.
Yeah,
I can understand.
Oh, look, I was behind my dad saying, yeah. I didn't
What he
even
said.
half the time. I didn't say, look, I speak Italian, and like I don't understand Spanish, but I mean I understood some of the words that he was saying, and I was like, yeah. And the cop's like, hey, look, don't egg him on, and I'm like, oh, what? I mean, you know, they're like, just get your stuff and go. You know,
Just get your food and get out of here.
just go. And then like one of the cops that had the actual guy in the back of his car still comes to the deli to this day. And we have every once in a while we'll have a chit chat about that, because I drove by his car and I was like, hey, he's in your bag, and he's back, and he rolled out. I told him, I was like, roll down your window, and I was like, hey, I hope everything was worth it. And he goes, "¿Qué?" And I was like, no problem. And I just drove off. But yeah, these
I mean,
those are the stories that
45 years, you got some
I'm
all
gonna say-
kinds of stories.
oh look, there's
All kinds of stories.
So is that the only time you've been
No. We have it happened with the new
it happened
place
at the
too.
new place.
the new
too.
place?
With
Okay.
Anthony.
Yeah, it was 2 days before Christmas, and they were walking outside.
It was just me, Anthony, and I. We were walking outside. We did walk from the back door. Now we don't do that no more, and go out to the back and go to the car. And it was wrong, because I was out there waiting. So as soon as I go into the car, he stopping Anthony, he put him down in his knee and put a gun right here. How you call that, like
Execution style.
execution.
Yeah.
Meantime, I'm in a car, I'm looking in the rearview mirror, and I saw that, and I'm backing out a little bit, and then I saw Anthony doing that, and he said, "She's got the money." I saw Anthony do that with his hands. Look at me, and I saw that guy running towards me. Look, I didn't even know what I did. I just back up, and I took off, and I left Anthony there in the floor. I just took off.
I mean, she was honking her
And
horn,
I
making all
honked.
kinds of.
And I
So
honk, and then the police told me that I did the best thing to honk because it scared them off and they ran away.
Yeah.
But I left Anthony right there.
Hey, look, and some of them were like,
Oh, he told them she's got them, and I had the money.
You had the money for the night.
And so she swerves not to hit the guy. Instead of just, hitting him, she swerves to not hit him, to hurt him.
If I could open up the door and hit him, because it's right there by my window. I could have did that and throw him down when I back up.
Over.
But I didn't want to hurt him.
You were being nice. I get it.
She was being nice to the person I was trying to steal from her. Yeah.
You almost
I mean, he told him to go after you, though. So
yeah, that's true. That's true. Yes.
Holy
smokes. That was extremely heartbreaking, especially being in the news spots.
She's got the money.
It was. It was. How long ago was that?
I mean, it was at least 5 years ago, 6 years ago. But that was extremely heartbreaking because I think we had just moved in. Maybe we'd been there for 2 years. And so then that's when Marco started to...
I started carrying work.
I mean, it's... When you don't do it until something happens, right? Because you never think anything will happen. But as soon as it does, you have no choice but to make sure that you put in preventative measures or at least be able to protect it if and when it happens again.
Yeah. In the beginning, I was a little skeptical about it because, the customers, you can tell some of them felt uneasy, but now they expect it, and I feel like they feel comfortable with him having it on them. It's kind of, I don't know, odd how it all worked out.
Yeah. Well, because when you walk into the deli, you're in my house, so I'm going to protect you.
Right.
So that's why a lot of people, we even get cops in there, and it's funny because I'm like, so I'm off duty.
y'all are
good, and they're like, yeah, we got this. I'm like, good, I can rest.
We love it when they're in there because we have a parking lot full of police cars, and it's just that's the safest thing.
Oh yeah, and we joke around. We're like, safest place in town. Yeah. Come eat at Anthony's.
Look, that's like the new slogan, safest place. I love it. But you do little things like that, it becomes part of your culture. And again, to your point about the family, you had nothing here, and now people are like, oh no, you got to go to Anthony's. You got to go there. It's family. It's a unit, because it is. Mm-hmm. Like when I went there, I was like, this is a family spot. Like it's not
the family that fights all the time.
Were you there?
It's great.
Were you there in the middle of a fight?
No, I think I come just after a fight because there was like. There was some talking, and they're like, she doesn't know how to run the register. Get to the back or something like that.
Oh my goodness!
So she was saying that.
No. It was the younger crew.
Oh, well, there you go.
Oh my goodness!
Oh yeah,
and that's tough too because they feel like they need to chime in, that they have a say. So I'm like, we've been doing this all of our lives, and here they come. They've been working there for what? 5 real years.
5 real years.
And they are just as feisty as can be, telling all of us what we need to do.
Telling us how we need to do things.
Oh yeah.
You know what you should do.
Yeah.
You know what you should do.
But they've got the good ideas, right?
Oh gosh, of course they do. And they do help with the social media.
They have ideas, yes.
Yeah.
They have ideas.
Yeah. So obviously, again, it's heightened more so because it's family, right? So I've come from a family business background. We're in our 4th generation for an industrial plumbing company. And it's like when you work with family, it's very much different than working with colleagues or other professionals in the area, because they do have those moments, like it's, You do something wrong and your dad's going to come after you and get it, or your brother's going to do this. And there's heightened situations when it's family, but it's also family. So it's like you said, you're in my house, I'm going to protect you. Everybody in here is family. So it's battling the new versus the ones that were there from the beginning. And with that, what have y'all seen? What have y'all tried to do to kind of make sure it keeps getting passed on, but also not totally silencing their ideas?
Okay. If you think so.
No, I'm asking, like, what have y'all done anything? Like, what has been the communication to get their ideas up, if any? Like, I mean, you said with social media, they're helping out.
Yes, they do. They always tell me, Mama, your post is terrible. Take that down immediately.
So, yes, that's how she helps.
Welcome to the brand new Saia mobile app. We took all the same tech that's helped hundreds of people sell their homes themselves and packed it into an easy-to-use app for your phone. When you download the Saia mobile app on either the Apple or Android App Store, you'll immediately be able to see the power of this game-changing tool. From the seller's dashboard, you can navigate to all the information that you need. We intentionally separated everything into key groups, such as tasks to be completed, buyer leads for your listing, and contact information for everyone involved through closing. When you get an offer on your property, you can simply review and respond all within the app. No matter where you are in the world, you'll be able to monitor everything that's going on with your property from listed to sold. It's truly the power of Saia in the palm of your hand. Download the app and see for yourself. Saia, it's real estate reimagined.
But I mean,
No, they do. They'll take good pictures, and I mean, they do have some ideas. But they're focused on they both want to go to med school, so they don't want to be in the restaurant industry. But I have a feeling that one day it's going to come right back around, just like it did for me, because I swore I would never be in it, and here I am working with my family every day, wondering what am I doing. But we have good days, we have bad days, and I think the good outweighs the bad. We'll fight, and the employees are. The couple of employees that we don't have very many, but they're just kind of like, okay, what's going on? But we get very angry, and we try to do most of our fighting in Italian, so no one understands us. And so, then the employees are like, wait a minute, they were just fighting like 10 minutes ago, and then after that, everything is fine, and they're just like, they don't understand the how fast we can rebound from our issues. Now, sometimes it takes a couple of days, especially with he and I.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Well, that's brother sister. I mean, that's going to happen.
Well, we do fight a lot. We try not to, but we do. But I mean, what family run restaurant does not fight?
Yeah, I mean,
because we all want to do things our way, and whatever way thinks it's either easier or the best or whatever. Yeah, we don't fight.
I said argue.
We argue loud.
If we start it right now, watch. We're going to start it right now.
I think we've been getting along. I mean, the older we get, the more mature we get, and I think that we start to realize, what buttons
Life's
we can push,
short.
And then I think we've learned to respect each other a little bit more than we have in the past.
Well, and y'all are in different roles to a degree, right? Like you do some of the social media, some of the bookkeeping, and you're, everything else. Like how has that? At what point did y'all recognize y'all got to separate and find two different paths within the restaurant to go?
Oh no, we started that before we even opened this restaurant. We had a sit down and we all sat there and told each other what our jobs are, and we were all okay with it. When we got into the deli, I mean, we're talking about at the beginning we had maybe 3 or 4 employees, and we were booming, and it was very nice, and it was very hard for a very long time, and I was in the kitchen. So getting things going like that, it was difficult. That's why we've decided that I had to get out of the kitchen to help with everything else.
Yes.
So now we got a nice little chef back there, and everything's just rolling as well as we could think it is.
Everybody got the only job.
Yeah.
Only job.
We all know what we need to do.
That's it.
And I think that's got to be part of that process that you just develop. Otherwise, I mean, you end up driving each other out, and you end up with, Marco's Italian Deli or something like that.
Oh, no, that'll never happen. Not over her dead body.
So you said you would never go into the restaurant business with this, but you ended up there. What were your other thoughts before coming and joining the team?
Well, I mean, I was a teacher, and I left that profession because I started having children, and it just didn't make sense. So after that, my husband and I moved to the Woodlands, and my mother was not too happy about that because, Italians, they want to keep their family close.
Right.
So we lived in the Woodlands for 4 years, and so when they started this whole, we're going to move the deli, we're going to expand, she, kind of pulled us right back in, and my husband's job allowed him to work from wherever. So we finally had a little sit down and decided that we were going to move the deli, and she was going to move us back here to help run this deli. And so that's what got us back to Baton Rouge and into the family business. And
I
in the
thought about it
beginning,
every night.
I was just going to be a silent partner. I wasn't going to be there. Remember?
I don't know what she's talking about.
I was a silent partner. We were going to. They were just going to do this whole thing, and if they ever needed me, I would come in. So I am there every single day. Luckily, they're not expecting me there from 9:30 to 6 every day. But I feel like I've been there a lot more. And then, I mean, it is.
Well, I mean,
it's the employee situation.
It is.
You know, I mean, if we had reliable people, you know, I think it would.
I mean, it's tough. It's tough trying to have people help you and make them happy so they stay with you as long as you can get them there. Right. Because good people are hard to find. You would have somebody come in wanting a job, they'll work there for a little while, and then they got to go to school. People come in and they work a little while, and they end up finding something else to do.
But it's not easy to work for us either. You're working side by side with the owners. It's extremely intimidating, and so I do find that. I mean, and she's not easy to work with. I don't know.
I think you'd be a blast to work with. I'm just going to state that on the record. I think you'd be a blast to work with.
Oh, my gosh. I mean, you may have some people calling you or emailing you.
I'll trade jobs with you for one day. Oh, yeah.
I mean, she's Italian. She likes her things done a certain way. And I feel bad for her.
This is her place. This is her baby. Anthony's Italian Deli. This is what she knows.
I don't like changes. If it's been good for 40 and some years, it's got to be like that again for another 45 years.
But we can't do it without the help, right? We can't do it without people coming in and helping us, because, I mean, we knew that going from Florida Boulevard to Government Street. We knew that we were going to have to hire people. And she's never really had a lot of people under her where she was training them. And then we had to learn a new system. We had to get like POS systems and all of that. Yeah. And that was a whole different ball game. Yeah. But I mean, she's finally coming around to, putting people's names on their order by typing it in. But
Not really.
What do you mean? You said
to
today.
Go orders to a holla. To go. I type it in first and then to go. For here.
So we knew we needed help.
I don't want to do all that.
You just need the ticket book. You write it and you give it to the chef.
That's what she does.
That's all you need.
That's
she has that. She has that for her phone calls.
They get mad at me. Put on the ketchup. Write it down first.
Yeah. She's old school. Because, like, like today, both the registers were taken. The phone rings. She picks up, takes the order down.
And then
she'll scream it out, and who knows if anybody heard her. Next thing you know, the people are there. Hey, I'm David. I'm here to pick up my order. She's like, oh yeah, I need a Godfather.
No, it's not true. There's on the bag. David is ready. He's right there.
Yeah, handwritten. Not a typed out computer.
Yeah, on the bag.
She's still doing stuff back in the day, so
look,
it's okay.
P mixes are not important. Your KPIs don't matter.
That's right.
Just serving the food the good old way it should be done.
Food gotta be good. That's it, huh?
That's right.
It's gotta be good. That's all.
So with the family and everybody still being back in Italy, are y'all sourcing most of the stuff from there, or is it kind of shifted over time to here on the state side?
Definitely shifted to the state side.
Cosa?
Le cose che portiamo indietro. Like, our inventory and stuff like that. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of our stuff's imported.
I mean, everybody's stuff is,
A lot of our stuff's imported. But, I mean, there's a lot of, like, our companies that we get our stuff in. It's Italian made, But, I mean, it's so hard to import now.
Well, you can keep it all fresh enough so that you can serve in the restaurant. It's impossible to do something like that.
Yeah.
But like the produce and stuff, we try to keep it local.
Yeah.
We keep a lot of our business local, a lot of it.
Well, and then, I mean, you're making the sauce and everything in-house, so it's like whatever you're not able, you just make it all within yourself, so it's not like you're buying anything, nothing's pre-made for what y'all are after.
Yeah.
Which I think that's what holds the value of what y'all have got, is that everything is true to who you are, true to your recipes and everything. You're not going to get the same food anywhere else. Because it's y'all's touch. It's who y'all are.
That's right. And the muff mix. He makes the muff mix. All homemade.
I can't tell you how to make the muff mix. I have no idea. So just like you were talking about with your cookies,
Yeah.
it's the same thing. He doesn't even want to tell me, which I'm fine with because I don't want that job.
You know that the
Believe me, I
main
tried to
thing-
tell her. Wait, please do it.
You don't have it written down or anything?
No.
Look at me. The main thing at the deli, we sell a lot of spaghetti and lasagna and all that, but the main thing is the muffuletta. And he makes the muff mix, the one that goes at the bottom of the muffuletta.
Oh, it's the best. It's the best in town.
So,
There you
you know, but thank you.
It's hands down the best in town that y'all have made in house. I mean, you
Yeah,
got the shirt.
in-house.
I know, I
The
was about to
shirt
say,
says
the
it
shirt
all.
says it
Can we-
all,
can we
right?
get the Can we get the shirt
Yeah,
shot?
let's get the
yeah,
shirt
swing that.
shot.
Yeah, there it is. Look at that.
Muffs.
So, you know,
Can we talk about the behind the branding of the shirt?
I knew that was
bring the
coming.
mic back in. We're gonna talk about the shirt.
that was
now.
coming.
Well, I mean, why not? I mean, who
doesn't love muffs?
Exactly. If you were selling muffulettas for a living,
Okay.
and you were, and then all of a sudden you started hearing the name muffulettas, they of course shortening up.
For the T-shirt's not big enough for the
Yeah,
whole word
of course.
muffuletta.
And you can't bring the rest of the word underneath.
No, I mean, who
it.
knows how to spell muffuletta anyway?
Exactly. I think it's spelled like 7 different ways.
It depends on who you ask.
I don't know. But you know what? There's only one muff,
That's
right?
it. There's one. So, when did these shirts come about? And
This was at the old deli, and we still we used to hang like I had like 2 or 3 shirts made, just for
just for y'all.
advertisement
Right.
purposes. And then next thing you know, one flavor turned into another flavor. I got some bunch of LSU iHeart Muff shirts and stuff like that. So I mean, it blew up from there. I got all kinds of iHeart Muff shirts. I have one on every day. We got a little sand volleyball team working, and you know what? I walk out there with the iHeart Muff shirt.
So look, when my kids were little, he wanted to ship me some I Heart Muff shirts to the Woodlands,
Right.
and he was like, "Is it okay for me to put I Heart Mini Muffs?" And I was like, "No, you cannot send me that."
And she said it's pushing a little
draw the
bit.
line,
Yes,
okay?
I know. There were pink shirts that said iHeart Mini Muffs.
what, you sound like 1T, 2T, 3T,
Yes.
4T. Oh,
Yes.
I would.
And then
make
of
one?
course the onesie.
Can you make an iHeart Mini Muff onesie?
Well, right now we don't know. So you're talking about for you?
just make it in the
Make
black
it
and white,
anyway?
the white with the black
Oh,
letter
yeah.
or something. I mean,
Yeah, that's
No, for
I
kids,
got it.
Margot.
Well, I was
Okay.
talking about he doesn't know what he's having.
Okay, gotcha.
I have an Anthony Italian Deli iHeart Muff shirt on the new baby.
On your baby.
Yeah.
We'll put it on the book.
Definitely.
We just released, holding it iHeart Mini Muffs.
Look, we did a gender reveal at the deli.
Really? You can rent it out for a gender reveal?
No,
party?
we didn't rent it out. This couple came in.
Okay.
And they were like, so our parents don't know what we're having, and we know what we're having, and we want a surprise for both of us before we tell everybody else.
Okay.
So it was a gender reveal between the husband and wife.
Oh, so they didn't. So they just gave y'all the
They
envelope.
gave us the envelope.
So what'd you
and
make
So
to
they
the
said
right
make
color?
a meatball if it's a boy and make a muffuletta if it's a girl.
Okay.
So then I need a onesie that says I heart mini muffs and I heart mini meatballs.
Yes, well, or either that, or I mean, I got them all day. Hey, if you like my meatballs, you're gonna love my sausage. So anyway, I don't know. I forgot where I was at.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
This is where we
meatball.
were.
So no, and then I showed up with the meatball because it was a boy, and they were like, "Yeah, it's a boy." Oh, it was nice.
They were a little confused at first. They were like, "What's going on?"
Wait, what's it? Because I put the meatball on the muff bread. So they were
throw 'em
like,
off.
yeah. They were like, it's a girl. And then the guy's like, oh, and then they open it up. It's a meatball. Oh, it was a good surprise. And then I was like, now you know how you feel if you would have had a girl. So he's like,
split second.
For
Get that split second. Yeah. Yeah. See, it's always that instant moment. You're like, well, what is it? What is it? Boy,
I think we
girl?
even
Like,
videotaped it. And
We did.
I don't think
have it.
that his face was very nice whenever we said it was a girl. He's like, oh, it's
you
a boy.
sure? You sure?
No, I'm not sure.
Oh man, that's good. So I mean, what's next? What is there a next? Or I mean, you've created this family legacy within the deli that's now carried forward for 3 generations. I mean, is there any plans for where do you go next, or is it just don't change the recipe for the next 45 years?
I say just if it's not broke.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's it for us.
We'll just keep on going until we can't go no more.
Yes.
You know, I mean, what else is there?
You got muffulettas and
Just keep
meatballs.
it going.
I know we got a good little life going. You know,
I love it, man.
yeah, slinging meatballs and
Like you said, but
muffulettas.
if it's not broke, I'll fix it, huh?
Don't fix it.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, everybody like everything. I mean, you know.
And you know, we're still getting people coming into the deli. When are you going to open another one?
Nope.
No.
No.
Not
We don't
gonna
know
happen.
how Cane's does it. We just, I mean,
They keep their employees and they keep their employees happy. I just don't get it. You
This
know?
is fine.
Yes.
This is fine.
This is
Make
plenty.
it and go.
This is more than plenty. More than plenty.
Imagine the 3 of y'all running 3 of them, each had a different one.
nope. No. We're good.
I love it. Well, y'all
Patty G Show is proudly brought to you by Mimosa Handcrafted Jewelry. Mimosa Handcrafted Jewelry is a local business right here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. They create handcrafted jewelry for everyday use, that special occasion, whatever it may be. Gentlemen, they've got amazing jewelry both for male and female. Everyone is their audience. You know, after years of experimenting with everything from ceramic jewelry, glass beads, and enamel, they've settled in on the ancient art of lost wax casting is their main form of creating their work. They cast everything in bronze, sterling silver, and 14 karat gold. Every step of the way is done here right in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Proud sponsors of the Patty G Show. Mimosa Handcrafted Jewelers. Get out there and tell them that Patty G sent you, and they're going to take great care of you on your next order.
I love it. Well, y'all have been such a fun treat. Before I get y'all out of here,
Oh, thank you.
we do have a set list of questions we ask every guest. So you sent them the questions beforehand, right? They got them all?
He's pulling y'all's chain. Look at my mom. She's
I'm good. Go ahead.
I know. We're ready. We're ready.
So what is something y'all did as a kid you wish you could still do today? We'll start with you.
Just travel to Italy every year and spend 2 months summers with family, with no electronics, no technology, nothing.
No fires to put out.
Those were the good old days.
Yep.
What about you? What's something you did as a kid you wish you could still do today?
Well, there's not all that much when I was growing up. Just growing up in Italy was just then get married very young, move here. I have 2 beautiful kids. I mean, I don't know. I couldn't ask anything more than that. The deli, everything is good.
Still living the dream then.
Live the dream. That's it.
I love that.
Yes.
Your answer is not acceptable if you say you want to sit in the crib next to the stern of the
No. What did I still?
I could have said 2 beautiful kids inside and out.
I just
Oh,
I don't know.
out.
That's a toughie. But I mean, I
Chase
like that.
cars away?
I like that. No, I like the whole not having electronics. That would be a good one.
It's crazy how much they run your life at a certain
Of
point.
course. And you know what?
Having a
Then you
restaurant with
know you know
electronics. Oh.
like how much you need it whenever it's not there.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God, now we're we've become these people that are just basically robots.
Yeah.
So like I would like to go outside and play outside. I don't do that anymore, So
Absolutely. So if each of y'all could come up with one lesson that you've kind of learned in the family business, working together, what would one lesson be that y'all have learned running the deli?
if you got time to lean, you got time to clean.
To me, it's just get along. That's the best thing, to get along. Everybody.
Patience. Lots of
Patience,
patience.
all that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Lots of patience.
This
That's for everything.
This work is not for everybody.
No.
Oh,
The restaurant industry is not for the faint of heart.
No.
And those with a weak shell, a weak outer shell. You got to be a little thick-skinned.
You know, I tell a lot of people that, you know, like her girls, they're very fortunate because they're able to work in a restaurant industry or like, you know, an environment like that to deal with people and to see different people and how they act and how they react. And that's why I believe, and I've said this my entire life, that anybody that gets out, as soon as you get out of high school, go work at a restaurant while you're freshman or you're junior, you know, whatever. In college, go work at a restaurant for a couple of years, and you know what? That'll basically bring you down to earth.
And it'll also give you so many soft skills that you can take to your next profession just by learning to problem solve in the moment, deal with angry customers, and accept responsibility when you drop something on somebody.
But also respecting the industry, because everybody goes out to eat. You need to know, you know, what's really going on behind the scenes. And I think that a lot of people don't know that. And, you know, when they come in, they're very impatient, which, you know, look, our customers are just, they're awesome. You'll get one like every 2 years that you just want to just strangle. But other than that, I mean, but no, you need to have that knowledge. You know,
you have to be quick on your feet. Because you don't know, somebody could just kind of just like turn on a dime on you, and then next thing you know, you're stuck and you're crying and like, you know.
No.
It's happened to me a few times.
Look, I think I've been very fortunate because all my customers, they're all good people, all of them. Maybe you get one she said 2 years. I would say maybe one every 10 years.
Okay.
But they're all good customers, all family-oriented people. You get all family-oriented, good people. And, you know, it's good. It's good.
Yeah, you got a great clientele base that you've built up over the years. So what is something y'all love about Baton Rouge?
Anthony's Italian Deli. You know that people come here just to eat at the deli. Like they'll drive through town, and like just a couple of days ago, I think it was last Friday, we had a couple one was from England, and the man was from England and the woman was from Ireland. And I guess they met on the internet or something, and they're in the United States for a whole 2 weeks to do they came and stopped at the deli. They said, you know what, this is the best experience next to Nashville. I was like, what?
Well, there you go.
I know. I was very happy with that. People from Ireland and England, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm interested to hear what y'all's favorite thing about Baton Rouge is. I mean, going back to, I think we do have the best food anywhere around. When I lived away, I missed the food. Now, obviously, it doesn't compare to going to Italy and eating, you know, that food. But I mean, we've got awesome sushi restaurants. We have awesome Lebanese restaurants that we love so much. I mean, you know, the Chimes. It's just, we've got a great restaurant scene. But I mean, Tsunami, going and sitting up there and on top of the river. I mean, that's great. It's one of my favorites, is doing that.
We got a great food scene here.
Yes.
Very fortunate and blessed.
What is your favorite thing about Baton Rouge?
My favorite thing about Baton Rouge is Anthony's Italian Deli.
Yay! And scene.
Okay. Look at me, be careful. I'm right here.
No, but really.
It's the opportunity we have before us to come in here as a no person and make a name for yourself by doing and treating people the way you want to be treated, and to be received in a way that you wouldn't be in any other place. To be like family. To come here with nobody and nothing and be able to build a legacy that you can leave for your kids. The fact that you don't get lost in the crowd. You see somebody, your roast beef, your muffuletta. You recognize people because of the size we are, and there's so much opportunity here that people often either don't recognize it or they take it for granted and want to leave and go somewhere else because there's a better opportunity. You've got everything before you could ever want. You can come here with nothing, know nobody, and be here 45 years later still strong. And I think that speaks volumes. That's my favorite thing.
That's fantastic.
That sounds so familiar there. Is that what we do?
Very good.
Is that what we become? Is that what we're doing?
I told you it was Anthony's Italian Deli.
Yeah, but you got deep. I think we were all like, yes. So, no, I was going to say the same thing.
We'll clip
You took
it.
my answer. I'm done.
So what can I do to help y'all? Y'all have been here a lot longer than I've been alive. What can I do to help y'all?
This is fine. This is perfect.
Pass the word.
You're doing
yeah.
good. You
That's
did
it.
very good. You did very good to pick us to come here tonight. It was kind of but now
nervous
we got
about
kind
it.
of
Now you-
used
now
to
you- now you're good? Now
maybe
we-
they have a glass of wine and help me out a lot.
Well, look, I thank y'all so much
Well,
for coming.
thank you.
We gotta
Thank
get
you
an
for having
iHeart.
us.
I need an iHeart Muff shirt right behind my head for whenever we film. People just see iHeart Muffs.
Yeah, I'm
Yes,
okay with
yes.
that.
Okay, good.
Yeah, just come in the deli and pick out the flavor. I mean, I have like Saints ones. I got LSU ones.
I gotta go
Thank you
alma
for
mater.
being here. Thank you
I gotta
for
go alma
being here.
mater with the LSU man.
What's his name?
I got a purple one, and then I have a gold one.
Perfect.
Yeah, it became a good.
It's a great marketing deal. I
Yeah.
love it.
Oh yeah.
Nosotros hacemos
So,
eso.
You know, people catch each other in like malls and stuff out of state, and they're like, "I know where that place is."
I know that shirt. I know that.
Yeah.
I know that company.
I got, you got to be proud of that. You know?
Absolutely. Your branding
I'm
is
proud of
on
my
point.
mom.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you, Pat, for having us here tonight. It was a great experience.
Yes, this was great.
Good. I'm glad you.
I was going to be behind the scenes, but
No, I wanted all three. It was like Marco said, it was all or nothing. That's it.
All or nothing. That's
right.
perfect.
So,
That's
well, thank y'all so
perfect.
much for coming on. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
thank you.
And everybody, if you haven't ever been to Anthony's Italian Deli, something wrong with you, first and foremost. Secondly, you need to get over there and you need to just, everything and anything on the menu is going to be good. You're not going to go wrong. So go over there, let them know you saw them here on the show, and you're going to get treated like family regardless. So y'all go out there, enjoy Anthony's Italian Deli, and thank y'all for listening to the latest episode of The Patty G Show. We'll see y'all next time.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Can we say ciao? Ciao.
to say, absolutely. Thank you to Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge for making this show possible. Nick Pentis is a past guest. We love having him on. Listening to him talk about the culture they have over at Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge is really an incredible thing to hear. How they treat not only their employees, but every customer that walks through the door. You are more than just a number to them. They're going to give you that white glove concierge service every step of the way. They're going to make you feel like family and take what can be a stressful time in people's life, shopping for a car. They're going to make it so enjoyable and so pleasurable. You're going to want to go back there time and time again for every new vehicle. Thank you so very much for Mercedes-Benz of making this show possible. Thank you to our wonderful sponsor, Lake Men's Health Center with Our Lady of the Lake Physicians Group. Guys, I know it's tough to get out and go to the doctor. I know it's challenging to find time in our busy days, but I promise you, signing up to be a part of this group with Dr. Curtis Chastain and Dr. Tyler Boudreau, you won't regret it for several reasons, but most of those being the fact of the time it saves, where you're able to get in on the same day, get that appointment done, and spend that time you need to talk with them about what your health goals and concerns are, as well as ensuring that the financial investments you have, you will be able to live out and see those come to fruition. So if you're an investing guy, you know all about and planning for the future and investing in the future. There's no other more important thing to invest in than your health. Make sure you go check them out. Our Lady of the Lake Physicians Group Men's Health Center, and tell them Patty G sent you. McLavy's Ltd, a proud sponsor of the Patty G Show, has been serving the Baton Rouge area proudly for 40 plus years. Gentlemen and ladies, if you're shopping for your man, there is no other place in the Baton Rouge area to get your clothing, whether it's game day needs, everyday needs, business attire, formal attire, whatever you want. Go over there, see Frank and Ashley. It's a father-daughter duo. They do incredible things in their store. They will outfit you from as simply a shirt that you need very much to Currency Bank, a proud sponsor of the Patty G Show. If you are looking for a business bank that fosters on 3 core values, relationships, service, and technology, Currency Bank is the place for you. They pride themselves on convenient, accessible, and secure online banking resources where you can manage your account balances, initiate transfers, enroll with e-statements, and more via their online portal. Between the relationships, the service, and the technology,
They are going to be that partner with your business every step of the way, regardless of what you need. Currency Bank is the bank for business owners.
Simple.